Who am I? I've been asking that question myself since the day I can remember. Because honestly, I've always had this strange feeling that everything was a lie around me. That's one of the reasons I became an investigative journalist. Seek the truth to uncover the lies. At first, I actually thought about the FBI, to be honest, but then I learned I couldn't trust them either. Power corrupts absolutely. In order to remain, lies became necessary in our digital world, with one post on social media changing the minds of millions. All it took was one misquote, one mistake, one time where you were just caught being human. No one is perfect, and we seek perfection in our leaders and our safety and security. So those who reach those heights must bend the truth or outright lie to hide their imperfections and to breed doubts about their opponents. A never-ending cycle of they said I didn't say. I was only 10 years old back in 1996, just a few months after Dallas won the big game over Pittsburgh. The FBI arrested the Unabomber. You remember him? I followed this story for a while, but actually became enamored with the news coverage itself as opposed to what actually had happened. To be honest, as a young kid, I didn't understand completely. But the way they covered everything made me very upset. Asking officials for opinions, not being told anything of substance, reporting on the same quotes. I wondered why certain questions weren't asked. And then I began noticing this in many stories. Reporters getting their information solely from law enforcement, and the information clearly being skewed and carefully crafted to mold what the story was. And many times, it was just wrong. But no one would see a retraction. They would just remember the quotes from officials, think it was the truth. I made it a life goal to become a journalist at this point, giving up my imagined Fox Mulder life. By 22, I was working for the top newspaper/video station in the United States. But still, even as I became well known in my circles in just the 3 years I was there, Mario Cozzi, award-winning investigative reporter, breaks another story, pissing off powerful people, fearing for my life at times with unknown threats coming my way, being adored, respected, to be honest, a little bit powerful myself. I realized I was becoming like the people I hated, searching so hard for stories that I was listening to the liars too much, being used because they knew I wanted to win first place in the newspaper awards. It was then that I started playing fantasy football, when I was about 25 back in 2011. My competitive nature and love to win was quenched pretty easily. It is a useless power in the larger scheme of things, but it kept me from falling into the same traps in my real life. I also left my job, joined a small independent news operation with low pay, very few resources, and not enough clout to even get a press pass to cover the elections. But I was given freedom, and I used my skill of investigation to continue my work. But this time, it was a grind. It was even more dangerous, and I had no power with most people, disregarding my stories, saying I'd lost my mind. But I was telling people the truth, and more often than not, others began to listen. Protests popped up, officials resigned. I was accomplishing more than I ever did, and it was all for the truth, not for glory. My glory came from winning my fantasy football league. Before we get off track, let me get back to my inner self. Who am I? Even with me reaching my goals of showing the truth and fighting back the lies, I still struggle with my mind. I was an orphan, never knew my parents, and neither did the orphanage. They found me on the doorstep in a basket like I was some ridiculous fairy tale. Some worker named me Mario because the original NES game was released in North America that year, and it was very popular. My first real memories came when I was about 7 years old. I began having these strange dreams. They began as nightmares, darkness spreading, destruction and death around me. I seemed to be at the center of it. But then there was always a light. I remember these shadows within the light telling me to remain strong, that I was some sort of a vessel for something greater. Unfortunately, the light faded, and I was left on a throne, looking out on a scorched earth. I kept asking, why was I the king of decay and decadence? I had sleep studies done where they monitored my brainwaves in REM sleep. They picked up odd anomalies, chemical signatures that didn't seem human in nature. So I began to get tested for everything you can possibly think of. No diseases, though, and definitely human. In the end, the scientists chalked it up to some unknown and filed it away. The psychiatrists told me that the dreams represented my fear of failing, but my desire to succeed, an internal struggle they believe gave credence to my difficulties with school and with authority at that age. I apparently had the drive to be a leader, but was afraid to put myself out there. Therefore, I acted out and disregarded my assignments in protest. They put me on something they said helped me focus, and in all reality it did, because I was so groggy and out of it at nights, I didn't remember my dreams anymore. When I was 10, I was adopted by an Italian-American family, and that's where I get my last name Cozzi from. I was given many opportunities and ended up being valedictorian of the university I went to. The name of the university isn't important, one of those private schools. I was doing really well too, became friends with interesting people. I even had a friend with access to a DNA database who helped me search for my parents to see if they can find a lead. Nothing, not even a relative to match. They said it was highly unusual. Seriously, it made me feel like I just appeared into existence, but it did make me appreciate my adoptive parents even more. They were there for me, there to listen. It's tough to speak of their demise. A car accident. I received a call when I was in graduate school at 21. Almost dropped out, barely finished. The only thing keeping me going was the prospect of being important, someone who could make a difference. And that's when the dream started again. I stopped taking my medication, drank too much, and the only thing that kept me sane was staying awake almost all night working on my stories. So that's what I did. And here we are now, my nightmares coming true. I still don't know who I am, but I must find out soon. I feel the end is coming, and I think I might be the reason. Who am Where am I? Something is wrong. What is this place? What is happening? Mario? Mom? Dad? Why did you let us die, Mario? It was all your fault. We were coming to visit you because you never visited us when you went away. No, that isn't true. I loved you both. I was busy. I didn't have the time. Tell them, Mario. Show them the dream priests. I don't understand. then we'll live our demise. No! Show me, Mario. Show me your mind. I have to get out of here. You will not escape. Where are the dream priests? Show me, or perish slowly. Help me! 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 I am in your mind, and you will show me. I can feel them, and I have my ways. It was your fault, No! You cannot hide, Mario. I will find you. Mario, we're sorry for this, but you must know it was necessary. Who are you? We are ancient beings of the Order of Light, followers of the Elders and the need for balance in the universe. What's happening now? Where is this place? We are in your mind, Mario, but more will be revealed to you in time. First, you must listen. C-Tap is a corrupted form of us, and although C-Tap possesses the power to be in your dreams and to weaken your resolve, force you to dream against your will, you ultimately control your own mind. You must fight this reality. You must break free. The universe depends on it. If this is all in my mind, why are you here to help? Why should I believe that you aren't a trap? Because, Mario, unlike C-Tap, we have always been in your mind since the day you were created. What do you mean, created? Do you know who my biological parents are? Of course we do, Mario. And we'll explain everything. But first you must break the grasp of C-Tap before all is lost. Excuse me for being skeptical, but why should I even help you? I looked everywhere for my parents. Nothing. And you seem to be what this C-Tech wants from me. I don't know if I could handle this anymore. Why shouldn't I just let this C-Tech know you're here to end all this madness? Don't let C-Tech break you. You will be messed with and shown things to mess with your emotional well-being. You must be strong and listen before it's too late. Too late? You've done well, Mario. C-Tech. We knew we'd meet again when we used the Dream Machine. It had an unintended side effect to allow us to escape, and we remained here waiting for you. I do not care about this human. Neither does Oshitan Obisus. We only want the Forbidden Palace so I could finish what was supposed to happen so long ago. You mustn't let Azath rise. It goes against everything the Order of Light stands for. You're wrong. It was clear to me after I was imprisoned for just being me. I saw the future. I saw the present and the past. This universe and all universes are blasphemy. For there to be true order and balance, it must all be destroyed. Life is chaos. Without life, balance will be born. This is all more complicated than you know, C-Tech. What should I do now, C-Tech? What can I do to end this? They are present here.
and therefore you know all about them. Transfer their knowledge onto me. I've opened the door.
Mario, you don't know what you're doing. Please fight it. We all believe in you.
It's done.
Oshitan Obisus will be pleased. Therefore, we will let you live out the rest of your existence trapped in your dreams. It'll be a better fate than the rest of the universe.
Thank you, SeaTac. I'm sorry, but I had to do it. I couldn't handle it anymore.
Mario,
You now force us to reveal something we hoped we didn't have to. It's not too late to save everything, even with the Forbidden Palace being opened. Mario, your biological parents are dream priests because you were brought into existence by us when we used something called a dream machine. It was an invention created to force rival Azath into slumber, but it had an unintended side effect. It used the power of the medallion and saved us by imprisoning us into another dream priest's mind, the only one saved from our temple in the gate on Jupiter, SeaTac. That's how we learned of the schism within SeaTac. The control gate forced SeaTac's being to split away to create balance. The darkness is all that is left in SeaTac. Because in order to have balance, the light was manifested into something else. It allowed us to hide in your mind because you are technically one of us. Based on this, we have one thing on our side. SeaTac doesn't realize it.
Wait. You're saying that SeaTac is my father?
No, Mario. We're saying that you and SeaTac are the same.